After further review, it is a touchdown.
Oh, yeah! Steve Marlowe with the winning call. Rocky Top crumbles. Dogs are winners. 44-41 in overtime. Oh, my goodness. How's that for a finish?
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Dogs versus All Y'all, a college football podcast where we don't just talk about the Georgia Bulldogs. We talk about all things college football, hence All Y'all. I'm Adrian, your resident Georgia fan. He's Eric, our resident Alabama fan, the one good Alabama fan in that fan base. What's going on, man?
Well, I'm stricken by your words. That makes me feel so good.
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm friends with a lot of Alabama fans that are solid. They're solid. And day ones.
See,
I will give them that.
The day ones are the ones that are the good fans. These like Saban bandwagon nut huggers are not the day one. Like when the DeBoer needs to be fired stuff started coming out, I'm like, yeah, okay, y'all weren't here for Franchione, y'all weren't here for Mike Price, for Mike Shula.
Shula, yeah, I remember those days.
If you think 9-4 is bad, let me take you on a trip back to 2001.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time checking us out, thank you. We're just two college football fans that love the game and we love to talk about it. So today's episode, Eric, we're going to do some post-game thoughts of not just my guys winning up there in Knoxville, but also you and Alabama are looking good, taking care of business against Wisconsin.
Like we do.
We're going to also decide, I got a couple teams for you, Eric, and we're going to decide whether or not they're cooked, if their season is already over. And finally, of course, we got some pick'ems for this upcoming week. Since our teams are not playing, we got some extra games. So we're going to go ahead and get that going. All right, let's go ahead and get it started, Eric. Let's get it started with this Georgia win in Knoxville against the Vols. Overtime win. I'm going to give my thoughts first because I'm the Georgia fan, but I do want to know your opinions. I'm going to be honest. I think that there's a lot of good that came out of that game, but it's also some areas of concern for me. But the good definitely outweighs the bad for me. I think the bad could be coached or personnel moves. And it appears since we were rotating that right tackle position all game, once we got to our third guy, shout out to Bo Ugly. He held it down, did his thing, actually put out good tape. And I think he's going to be our starter moving forward, at least until Ernest gets back healthy. Because clearly Ernest Green is definitely hurt. He's clearly injured because the way that I saw him playing this week, in the past couple weeks, he just looks injured. He just looks like a step is not there when he should be on fire. This beginning of the year, guys should be healthy in theory, and I'm not really seeing that of him. But Bo Ugly stepped in a major way, did his thing. Defense, even though we did give up 41 points and two big bombs, which would be my concerns, when it came to the running game, when it came to open field tackles, I was encouraged. I still love our front seven. I still think, even though once again we gave up 41 points, I'm not gonna sugarcoat that, but I'm gonna say I still like our defense a lot. The guys that are on it, the amount of talent, you could really tell how deep that Georgia team is because of how many rotations were out there. Like if you go, I rewatched the game just this morning when I got back from the gym, and I was like, damn, I didn't even realize this kid was playing. I didn't realize this kid was in. It was so many different combinations of not just the guys on the front end, but your defensive backs. Like, we rotated all of the safeties damn near that were getting meaningful snaps. And I mean, we had to rotate the corners because it was like, okay, my guy Ellis got that big touchdown put on him. Let's get Daniel out there. Oh, he got that big touchdown put on his ass too. So it was a lot of rotating, still figuring out, but I can still tell that's a very young and talented team. So, and then the biggest piece for me, Gunnar Stockton, man. Like, any of the questions and concerns when it comes to what Gunnar Stockton brings to that offense, I think a lot of those questions were answered. When he need to make the big play, the big throw, like his first throw of the game was a 60-yard bomb to Colby Young on the outside. There were questions of whether or not he could do that. After watching the first 2 weeks, I said, I saw him in high school. I know he can do it, but I don't know. Maybe something's not translating based on those first 2 weeks, but he wound up delivering there. The big fourth down conversion to London to tie the game. And most importantly, his mobility, him being able to run the ball actually helps our run game as a whole. It helps our running game as a whole because instead of defensive ends just crashing down on the running back, now they have to at least be a little hesitant because number 14 can pull the ball and run away. Yep. You know, that sort of thing. He's not Jalen Milroe. He's not the best athlete on the field, but he's a tough kid. He's a tough kid that can run the ball and he can make the throws. So I'm very encouraged. I think any Bobo slander has to relax this week because my guy went up to Knoxville against another statistical good defense, talented defense, and put up 44 points with some young guy. I mean, a first time starter. So, yeah. You know, that's a win. So for any Mike Bobo haters, I can't condone any Mike Bobo slander this week. I gotta wait 2 weeks before I allow anybody to slander my guy Bobo. So, Eric, what are your thoughts on that game? And
man, I'm just gonna say, Chris Brazzell had him a Jalen Hyatt game. It seemed like everything he caught was a touchdown.
Dude balled out, man.
Sure did. I'm gonna be honest with you. Your defense did scare me a little bit. Just based off of the amount of times A, Brazzell was open, and B, just the fact that Tennessee was basically able to do what they wanted to do up until about midway through the second quarter. Yeah, I'd even give them midway through the third.
They scored 21 points first quarter. Second quarter, they didn't score. Third quarter, we did that death march on them and had the ball for the most part. They scored a touchdown, but adjustments were made. Like you said, and like you sent me a text and you were like, man, I don't know about this defense. I said, out of our defensive coaching staff and their defensive coaching staff, which one do you think is going to make the adjustments?
And I straight up told you Kirby.
You said Kirby. And sure enough, second quarter, after, like, I can't deny we gave up 21 points in the first quarter. That's a good offense.
It is.
In my opinion, I think that's a really good offense. I think Tennessee is a playoff team.
Yeah.
I think they're a playoff team. But they still got some big games ahead for them. But I do think that's a playoff team. Just the way that team is built, they finally got a quarterback that can make those big throws because the past couple years, guys could throw the ball, but they weren't landing those big shots. So now they actually have a guy that can do it. So
shout out Joe Milton.
I mean, Joe, Nico.
Hendon.
Like, it was multiple times where Nico would throw the ball and somebody's open, but he would overthrow it. So I mean, shout out to Aguilar because he had himself a hell of a game, man. Hell of a game.
For a kid that got no college scholarships offer out of
that's crazy.
and then balled out at JUCO, balled out at App State. I mean, this was basically his first taste of an SEC game, and to come out and put up 41 points on a Kirby Smart defense, that's crazy work. So I got to shout him out, as much as I hate, giving anything to the garbage sanitation workers up there. But, the good guys did end up prevailing. I told my friend, so we had a cookout. We were sitting there after the Bama game. He was like, "What do you want to watch?" I was like, "Well, we got to watch this Georgia-Tennessee game. Like, I want to tune into South Florida, Miami. We can flip back and forth, but this Georgia game, gotta focus on it, because I need to,
for sure,
A, scout y'all, B, scout Tennessee, and C, just see how this works." And so I sat there and I told him, I was like, they keep, and this is right on Tennessee's last drive. It's like, they keep hyping this kicker up a little bit too much. And he's like, "What do you mean by that?" I was like, "That boy looks like he has the fear of God in him right now."
Yeah, he looked like a baby, man. I almost felt bad for him, man.
And they kept showing his face, like every play.
His eyes were like
his
this.
eyes just every time he noticed that he was about to have to make this kick, they just got bigger and bigger. And when they lined him up, I looked at my friend and I said, "He's about to shank this to kingdom come." And boy, if he did not shank that kick.
Yeah.
And my friend was like, he was like, "You've called like 4 plays today." I was like, "I know I have. That's why I'm good at this." But and I love that the people were making fun of him. They're like, "You missed the 43-yarder, but you made a 42-yarder in OT." I was like, "Yeah, but that 42-yarder wasn't a game winner. That was we're gonna survive."
A different level of pressure.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, you got to think, if he makes that kick, they're rushing that field.
Oh yeah.
Them goalposts getting torn down. He's getting everything he wants at the school this week. Like,
absolutely. He's a forever legend for that.
All of that runs through your mind. I'm beating the streak, like, and that pressure is just crazy. But I did see some good things from Tennessee. Hopefully that Alabama is able to adjust against. I hope it's quadruple team Chris Braswell, because I don't need another Jalen Hyatt game. Shout out Nate Frazier. He was toting the rock pretty good for y'all. Shout out Colby. Colby doing his damn thing all the time.
Zach Branch taking that screen.
Oh yeah,
like that dude. His speed is just different, man.
It is.
Like I have not seen that. I've said this weeks ago. I said McCole Hardman would probably be the closest of any of these Georgia players. Like, I know Arian Smith had straight line speed, but this guy is point A to B, like laterally, one of the fastest players I've ever seen. So I'm super glad we got him.
I think the only ones that I've ever seen rival Branch in Georgia is when they're in cars. But also, Bolden got him an interception. Gunner didn't throw him any interceptions, which shout out to
protecting
Gunner. Protecting the ball really well. Aguilar threw 2 picks. Your defense is good. We've I mean, like I think I said last week, you've got the next crop of the Philadelphia Eagles on your team. So, y'all did really good. It's the outcome that I was expecting. Wasn't the game I was expecting. That's for sure.
Heck no. I thought it was going to be a low scoring game.
I did too.
I think I said 27-17 or something, but.
And I think the crazy part 21, is,
I was like, shit.
Yeah, the whole SEC conference this week kind of was like, how play defense? We score? It looked like Big 12 offense out there all weekend.
Except for LSU.
LSU's
defense they're playing high stakes. They're doing some high stakes gambling, but it's paying off right now.
All I'm saying, and we can move on after this. If Tennessee would have focused more on themselves during game day, maybe they could have pulled out a win.
Hey, I'll take it. The funny thing about that Tennessee game was in overtime when he did make the kick, you could tell by the silence of the crowd, by the way their coach was looking, and all the players were looking.
They knew.
They knew they lost this game.
Oh yeah, because
they knew they lost it.
That crowd was just kind of like,
yeah.
Instead of like going ape shit, they're like,
right. They knew they lost the game. So
scored 3.
I'll give them credit. I thought we were going to lose that game. Going into the last couple minutes of that game, I was like, we're going to lose because, the kid has a makeable kick. But, hey, it is what it is. I'll take it. I'm not going to apologize for winning a good game also, against a hopeful playoff team.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't mean to bring this narrative up again. Was it Dalen Everett that was covering Chris Brazzell?
No.
Okay.
No, Dalen has been the man the past 2 years. Okay. I already told you I dispelled that after that 1 year, man.
For sure.
That was his first year starting. So
yeah.
Nah, Dalen's been doing his thing, man.
Okay.
He was actually holding down the other side, like heavily. Nah, that was Ellis Robinson, that first big touchdown.
It was Ellis.
Then the second one was Daniel Harris. So it was basically you traded one guy for the other one. That first touchdown was that was on Ellis. He should have just made the tackle. But also that safety, Kyron Jones, kind of bit too heavy on the play action. He was supposed to have help over the top. So I'm not going to fully blame Ellis, but I am going to blame Ellis because he should have just tackled the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Take the penalty versus what happened, a 75-yard touchdown.
Legitimately, he pulled up. And like my favorite part is he even wrapped him and then was like,
yeah.
Oh, wait, maybe I shouldn't do this. And then just kind of like.
No, that's the thing. He didn't even wrap him. He was going for the pass breakup.
Yeah, and it just kind of looked like he hugged him a little bit and then let go. And I was like, brother, take that 15 yards. What are you doing?
It is what it is. I'll take it 3-0. All right. So before we get into this Alabama postgame thoughts, Eric, I have a couple teams that I want to know whether or not their season is cooked.
Okay.
A couple of these teams came in with some good hype, I would say, some attention, some hype, playoff aspirations, but the season hasn't started off well for them. So I got 4 teams. We're going to decide whether or not their season's cooked. First team, we got to talk about Colorado Buffs. They're 1-2. I want to know, Eric, are the Colorado Buffs cooked?
Whew. I'm just pulling their schedule up here to look and see what I can see. Well, at least they play Kansas State, so that's probably a win.
Jeez.
I won't say cooked.
Okay.
I could see them beating Wyoming.
Okay.
I could see them beating BYU. Maybe.
Okay.
TCU's a toss-up for me. They'll lose to Iowa State. They'll lose to Utah. I think they can take Arizona. That might be a toss-up.
Mm-hmm.
I think West Virginia beats them. Arizona State's a toss-up. And I think they beat K-State because K-State's got the curse of the Irish on them. So, I mean, I think they can make a 6-win season and still kind of make the bowl season.
You see six wins out of this?
If the toss-ups go their way, possibly 6.
3. I just see 3 more. For me,
that would be. I'm going to lean optimistically here.
I feel that.
Just because I don't want to see Prime fail.
No. I
know a lot of folks do.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they love hating on successful people, but I just don't want to see Prime fail. So I'm gonna give him the benefit. I don't think his season's cooked, but he ain't gonna be top 25 anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't see it. Just the state of their team kind of concerns me, especially coming off of this game.
Yeah.
You don't have an established quarterback. Like, I know they went with Staub. That was their quarterback 3. He didn't have the best game. And maybe he made a play or 2, but for the most part, he just looked out of sorts. And, you kind of question, is Juju even ready? Like, what's the holdup with Juju? Why did he only play basically one series against Delaware and just get the pull? And then their starter, Caden Salter, like he came there for the purpose, obviously, to be the starter. Like, what's his mindset? Is he ready to get back in there? I'm assuming this is his last year to play college football. You would want him to compete, but I don't know. I just have concerns about that. And I just still have the same concerns that we've been talking about the past 2 years about that team, whether it's them running the ball enough, which they have running backs. Their guys want to run the ball. I don't know why they're not consistently trying to run the ball, and them stopping the run. Like, that's been their death toll. Like, Georgia Tech exploited it. Houston just finished exploiting it. The teams that they're playing for the next couple weeks: BYU, TCU, Iowa State, Utah, West Virginia, Kansas State, and Arizona State. All of those quarterbacks,
mobile.
They're going to run the ball. They're going to be able to run and throw. So I don't know. I'm hoping it's not cooked, but I'm going to go ahead and say I think Colorado's season, that is done. They are cooked, and hopefully they can rebound next year. All right, next team, Clemson Tigers. They are 1-2. Open the season with a close loss to LSU. They just finished losing in the flats. Shout out to Georgia Tech. They just finished losing to them, and now they're 1-2. Eric, is Dabo and the Clemson Tigers cooked for this year?
Brother, they should be 0-3 right now. Troy gave them that work last week.
That's fair.
Unfortunately, Troy just didn't have the killer instinct to finish them off. Clemson's cooked. I mean, they've only got one more ranked opponent as it stands. But Syracuse,
Florida State.
Yeah, Syracuse ain't an easy cakewalk. Bill seems to have kind of sort of whipped UNC into shape. Boston College is SMU still is good.
That's still a good team. Yeah.
Duke is a solid squad.
Yeah.
Louisville, solid squad. And then hopefully by November 29th, shout out Lenore Sellers. Hopefully he's back and has Carolina, playing some good ball.
Yeah.
So they're not an easy team. So this Clemson might be cooked. And you love to see it.
I think I have called them to be cooked the past year or so, 2 years, just because of the way Dabo has handled the transfer portal and NIL. And I know this past year, because they won the ACC and actually backdoored their way into the playoffs, a lot of the narratives were trying to shift on them and saying that, hey, this guy, he weathered the storm. He stuck to his guns and, through it all, Clemson is still one of the best teams in the nation. I think those days are long gone now. Even though I love their defense, on the offensive side, that's such a concern. Like, as soon as Antonio Williams got out, game one, guys didn't step up yet. I'm still waiting for guys to step up, whether it's in the run game or those wide receivers. I'm still waiting for those guys to step up. Cade's not good enough he's not good enough to be the man and overcome everything. I don't think so. So I'm going to have to agree with you reluctantly, man, because I did want to see Clemson in the playoffs, but I think Clemson's cooked this season, at least as a playoff team. I think they're cooked. All right, next team, Notre Dame. Notre Dame opened the season with a loss to Miami. They took the week off. Then they came back and fumbled the game away against Texas A&M. Eric, they are now 0-2. Do you consider Marcus Freeman and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish cooked this year?
Man, Notre Dame could lose 5 games of the year and somehow they'd still make it into the playoffs.
They'll figure it out.
They love touchdown Jesus in the playoff for whatever reason. They do have some tough games ahead of them. They still got to play Boise State, which, I mean, maybe a pretender squad, or maybe South Florida was just as good as we thought. I don't know. Still got to play a semi good looking USC squad. Pittsburgh.
They're undefeated.
They are undefeated.
They're winning.
They are. Pittsburgh is a solid squad. Arkansas almost took it to Lane Kiffin this weekend. So
they gave them some hell, and that game is in Fayetteville.
So I'm not going to say they're cooked. I think that there's still a pathway to the playoffs. 2 losses, doesn't really equate to much anymore. I just think it's a little wild that the team that was playing for a natty 9 months ago has started the season off 0-2 without much turnover.
That's tough. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say they are cooked this year, Eric, because I just think when it comes to the playoff committee, 2 losses is the cutoff for Notre Dame because they're not in the conference. True. Like I can see a 1-loss Notre Dame team that messed around and lost to Northern Illinois last year. Like their 1 loss, they got into the playoffs, even though people were actually arguing like, hey, they lost to Northern Illinois. Like, what are we even talking about? When it comes to Notre Dame, because they're not in the conference, I think 2 losses is cutoff. And we just finished talking about some of those games on their schedule. I don't think Notre Dame's good enough to just win out. I think USC is going to give them hell. They got to go to Arkansas. That's a tough place to play.
It is.
I think they're going to lose at least 1 or maybe 2 more games. So in the sense of playoffs, Notre Dame's cooked, in my opinion. I still like Marcus Freeman.
Same.
Yeah. All right, last team, Eric, we got to talk about those Florida Gators. Sunbelt Billy. Those guys went to Death Valley, and, man, I think DJ just threw another interception while I'm recording this. But Florida is now 1-2. Eric, are the Florida Gators cooked?
Cooked. They are on the grill. They are already ready for us to start seasoning them. Cutting off a little bit to taste to see how done it is. They're done.
Yikes.
Billy's hot seat is now a grill. Like, his ass is on fire. He keeps
surviving.
Yeah, he survived last year because he won 4 games at the end of the year, and they were like, "Oh, well, maybe." Nah, you about to get your ass beat by Florida or Miami. You about to get your ass beat by Texas. A&M gonna dog walk you. Mississippi State might dog walk you. Georgia's gonna dog walk you. Kentucky's gonna dog walk you. Ole Miss is gonna dog walk you. Tennessee's gonna dog walk you. Florida State's gonna dog walk you. Florida's gonna be lucky to win 3 games this year.
You think they win? You're saying 3 games, period.
Period.
Wow. So you're saying, oh man, look.
Who are they gonna beat? Who are they gonna beat? Mississippi State and Kentucky are the only 2 that I could viably see them playing up against. The rest of the teams are in the top 10, and Tennessee is on the outside looking in, but
yeah,
they're still a top squad. They lost to y'all.
That's true. I would say,
who do they beat?
What was it, like Long Island University or some I don't know, some farmer school or something. But yeah, now that you say that and I'm looking at their schedule, I was going to say, okay, Texas going to the swamp. It may get a little fishy, but South Florida went to the swamp and took care of business. So I kind of agree with you, man. It's kind of hard to see them win. I think they win 2 more, at least 3 more games. They'll figure out a way, but they're cooked. I think they're cooked. Do you think Billy survives this season?
No.
Okay.
I think they're already going to be looking if he loses to Miami.
I mean, schools are already calling it on coaches, so it kind of makes sense to go ahead and make the move early. But yeah, I agree. Florida's cooked this year. Rest in piss, fellas. Rest in piss.
That's a $20 million buyout.
Start getting those bucks together, y'all. Go ahead and call Spurrier up for a little loan. All right, let's go ahead and get into this Alabama post game. They took care of business against Wisconsin in a major way. I saw probably one of the best highlights of Ryan Williams that I've ever seen. Very reminiscent of what he did against us on that game-winning catch, that go-ahead catch last year. Eric, what are your thoughts on Alabama, the return of Alabama?
Well, they buried Ryan too quick. I buried Ty too quick. And I think the nation as a whole buried Alabama too quick. Look, as I said last week, I will admit that I was wrong on Ty. The last week was no shots at anybody. Last week was inferior competition. We are playing a Big Ten school this week, and Ty Simpson got almost 400 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 5 incompletions. Now, the run game concerns me a little bit, but Wisconsin's front line is absolutely stout. Kevin Riley only got 20 yards. Draylon Washington only got 13. A.K. Deere only got 9. Richard Young only got 3. But, again, that is a front line of bell cows out there. So I got to shout them out for doing the damn thing on the defensive line. Wide receiver room looks fantastic. Ryan Williams, almost 200 yards with 2 touchdowns. That triple reverse screen pass for 75 yards first play after halftime was probably the most beautiful play that I think I have seen since, again, no shots to anybody, the double pass from Brady to Edelman to Amendola against the Ravens. But, Ryan's doing the damn thing. Hopefully people shut up the narrative about him now. More shout outs to Jeremy Bernard. That kid is a baller. I wanted big things from him last year. I've got it this year. He is locked in. He is ready to help this offense and whatever he needs to help us do. Shout out to Isaiah Horton. Horton's coming up big the last 2 weeks. Also, Lottie Brooks. I got to shout him out, even though, he's third behind on the depth chart, but every time he touches the ball, he's making a big play. So I can't not shout him out. The biggest takeaway for me in this Alabama game, we got sacks. Our defense played ball. And that's been a question mark for Alabama for the last few years. The stats show 4 sacks, but there were so many pressures and so much outside of the pocket work that the quarterback was having to do for Wisconsin. Defense looked good, and we were lining up 4 on the line. So I'm hoping maybe we're going to play a real defense now instead of the 3-3-5 bullshit. Maybe Womack has figured out that just ain't for him anymore. Maybe Kalen DeBoer said, "Hey, brother, that ain't it."
DeBoer is probably a booster
for sure.
That walked in and said, "Hey, you better get your shit right."
Booster. It was probably Nick Saban and sitting in Womack's offense.
Him too.
Also, shout out black attire, Kalen DeBoer. Apparently, I didn't realize this statistic until I saw it on Facebook the other day. But apparently, he's undefeated when he wears all black. So maybe we should stick with that. Maybe it's something about the all black that helps him coach better. But let's stick with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But no, I've seen a lot of encouraging things from my team. And I am in a lot better of a place than I was after Florida State. even
Oh,
though
for
it
sure.
was just one loss to what is looking like a very good Florida State team. You know, I wasn't mad, but I was disappointed with how we started the season. And I think all that's been put to rest right now. We'll see once we get into SEC competition in 2 weeks, but
Yep.
but I'm quite content.
I feel that. I don't think. I think it was a lot of overreactions. It's a lot of overreactions when it comes to what Alabama has. Like,
Always.
if you look at them on paper, that's a top 2, top 3 roster in the nation. All it is are we putting guys in the right position?
Yep.
I think if it comes down, I think it simply put comes down to if guys are in the right position, talent should supersede anything. I want to say Saban says players, not plays.
Yep.
You know, that's his saying, and that's true life. And that's true life for the top teams in the nation. We should be able to outman you just because we're us. You should be able to outman most everybody on your schedule because you're you. You know, that's just the state of these kind of teams. But yeah, y'all put an ass whooping on them, and I'm excited for 2 weeks from now when both of our guys get to line up there in Athens. But well, Eric, before we head out, let's get these pick'ems going. Neither one of our teams are playing because we're taking a week off before our before our colossal matchup that I'm looking forward to. But we got 4 games, Eric, and we're gonna pick them, man. Let's go ahead and get into it. SEC play continues. We got Auburn and Jackson Arnold going down to Oklahoma to play against his former team, who now has their favorite quarterback ever, according to most Oklahoma fans, and I think one of my favorite players. Oklahoma Sooners are 4.5-point favorites. Eric, who are you picking?
Yeah, I definitely like Oklahoma in this matchup. I think Oklahoma has a better roster construction. Auburn may have a couple of like better players. Like shout out Cam Coleman. I think Cam Coleman's underrated as a receiver. I don't think he gets the love that he needs to, but also that's because of piss poor quarterback play last year.
Inconsistent. Yeah,
very, very inconsistent. I still don't think they've got good quarterback play. I think your Heisman favorite, John Mateer, goes in and does what he's supposed to do, commands the offense, kind of pretty much like what we saw against Michigan. Just kind of does the thing, calls it a day, leaves with a win.
Yeah. If this game was in Jordan-Hare, I would be a little bit more nervous.
Yeah.
It's something about that stadium, and
it's cursed.
I mean, yeah, right, exactly. I do, like, everyone knows how much I enjoy watching John Mateer. He's like watching a video game. He'll put the ball in some spots that you're like, no, don't do it. But some more often than not, it works. So I do think that it's going to be a close game. I do think that because I know people aren't really high on Jackson Arnold. Past couple years kind of soured that, but I just really do like how Auburn's using him, letting him run, getting the ball out quick. I love their wide receivers. Their wide receiver core is probably one of the best in the SEC. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick Oklahoma. I'm with you. Both of us are picking Oklahoma in this.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Next game, you got Michigan going into Nebraska. Michigan is currently 2.5-point favorites. Eric, who are you picking?
That's a small line. I would have expected it a little bit.
It's very small.
I guess is this Bryce's first
Big Ten game?
Yeah.
No. You know he went to Oklahoma.
Oh, he did go to Oklahoma. That's right.
Yeah.
I still like Michigan's roster construction better.
Okay.
So I'll probably pick Michigan over Nebraska. Also, still am not a gigantic Dylan Raiola guy.
Okay, that's fair.
He just reminds me too much of Mahomes, and I've already got one of those. So why do I want another one?
I think that's intentional by his part.
Shout out those 0-2 Chiefs.
Man. All right, Michigan, Nebraska. Man, I'm gonna pick Nebraska.
Okay.
I'm a believer in year 3 rule. I'm still going with that. I like Dylan Raiola. He's been protecting the ball, doing his thing. I kind of question if Michigan can score enough points to beat Nebraska. Okay. That's what I got. Because I don't know what time this game kicks off. I'm assuming this is a noon kickoff, maybe. I don't know. But is it a night game? Because if it's I was gonna say if it's a night game, I'm going Nebraska like all the way. Oh man, it's a 3:30 game. I'm still gonna go with Nebraska. I do like Michigan's defense, very talented, and I think Bryce is gonna. It's gonna take him a couple weeks to really turn it up. You can see it in spots, but we haven't seen that full, complete, big time. Oh, that's why he's him. That's why he's gotten all that. He's still a baby, but I'm gonna go with Nebraska just because I gotta stick with my narrative of year 3 rule. Taking care of business. Next game, we got Arizona State going to Baylor, which should be a fun game. Should be a high scoring game. And currently Baylor 2.5 point favorites. Eric, who's winning?
Ooh, I do like Baylor.
Okay.
So I might have to pick those little Bears over the Sun Devils.
Okay.
I do agree with you. I think it'll be a close game, but I also think it will be a high scoring game.
Yeah.
Definitely. Those Big 12 teams don't know how to play defense, and
I mean, they might as well start saying that about a lot of us in the SEC.
Honestly, at this point, yeah, true.
Yeah,
true.
That's everybody.
We score more than NFL teams on some points.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going to pick Baylor just because they got a slight edge over me. I do like Sam Leavitt, but I don't think Arizona State's figured out how to run their offense scatterbullous. So
I feel that. I'm gonna be right there with you with Baylor. I like Sam Leavitt, but Sam Leavitt is just all over the place this season, and he's kind of scaring me. He's kind of worrying me in the sense of maybe he's trying to overcompensate. I don't know, but I've seen way more negative plays from him than what I would like to see. I'm gonna pick Baylor. I like how they performed against Auburn. Like they were getting after it. So I do think this is going to be a high scoring game. I think it's going to be a very fun game. I'm glad that neither of our teams are playing, so I can watch more of these other teams, So I'm going to be right there with you with Baylor. All right, last game, Eric. We got the Florida Gators. You've already put dirt on the casket. You have already fired Billy Napier. They're coming down to Coral Gables to play against my boy Carson and the Miami Hurricanes. Miami is currently 7.5 point favorites against Florida Gators. Who's going to win, Eric?
Give me the U.
Nice.
Are they covering? Close. It's not even going to be
close. You think it's going to be a big
blowout.
Score difference?
Bro, DJ Lagway, unfortunately, has looked like lost. I don't think he understands what football is right now.
That's crazy.
And I don't know whether or not that's a product of Anthony Richardson's kind of the same way. He looked lost.
Well, DJ didn't damn near participate spring practice.
Right.
Or fall practice for that matter. So
right. So he might be a little bit behind.
Yeah.
But also, like, we've seen what Napier can do with a quarterback with the same archetype as Lagway. And he pissed Anthony Richardson away too.
That's fair.
So I think that Florida, if they're going to keep running these quarterbacks out that are mobile passers, they need to get a, coach that is inclined to coach that. I think he wants Lagway to stay in the pocket way too much, and Lagway can make some moves with his legs if you would let him, but they want him to be a pocket passer. They wanted the same thing from Anthony Richardson, but Richardson, I think, just eventually said screw it and started running and then got hurt, and now he's Daniel Jones's backup. But yeah, all that to say, Miami by a mile. I don't think it's going to be close. Carson's going to feast.
Yeah, I think I would say, Florida's going to be able to get to Carson, but Miami's probably the best offensive line in the game right now.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
I think that's part of the reason why Carson's doing as well as he's doing, is because he really does have a lot of time in that pocket. And I do agree with you. I think Miami wins. I think Carson has a big game against Florida. And I think they continue to win, man. I want Carson to do as well as possible. I'm not a weird Georgia fan that calls that man everything but Carson Beck. And I've said it plenty of times before. I enjoy Carson as my quarterback. I enjoy Gunner as my quarterback. If you're a Georgia quarterback, you're one of my guys, for better or for worse. So,
Amen.
Yeah, I want Carson to do good. I want him to continue to ball out. He's got some nice weapons on the outside. I love their running game. And like I said, their offensive line is one of the best in the nation. So I want Miami to continue to win and continue to look good. And if that means stumping out Florida, so be it. It is what it is.
I'm sure them beating Florida will really hurt your feelings.
Oh, right. Exactly. I want them to be a decrepit corpse before we face them in Jacksonville. I want it just be completely over. I don't want any kind of glimmer of hope. I want all positivity out the door before we face them in Jacksonville.
Damn.
That's how I like my Florida matchup.
You sound like me versus Tennessee. I don't want them to have a glimmer of hope.
That's a fact, man. All right, but Eric, man, good episode as always, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, we're Dogs versus All Y'all, a college football podcast that doesn't just focus on the Georgia Bulldogs. We talk about all things college football, hence All Y'all. I'm Adrian, he's Eric, and we'll see y'all next week. Go Dogs.
Your ass is prepared for this shit for fucking 365 days. I think about the fuckers in that locker room. Think about getting our opportunity. All the shit you went through this week to get ready for this game, now is when you pay the fucking price. You go out there with energy, enthusiasm. Ain't nobody supposed to be cautious. Ain't nobody supposed to be nervous about shit. Go out here and fuck their ass up. Don't think about scoreboard. Don't think about shit. You think about knocking the shit out of them. Did you hear what Box said on Monday? When I sat in that fucking meeting, I wanted to go fucking play right then. Tore your shit up out here. 2 years ago, fuck your shit up. Goddamn pride and joy tells me you fuck these guys up. You go play the right way. You play the right way. You knock their ass off. You stay off the fucking ground. You tackle the fucking man with the ball. The shit's easy. Look at the right shit. Punish their ass on offense and kick their ass on special teams, guys. It's about who the fuck we are. I believe in you. Let's go.